I would very much like to see this alien ship, but the prospect of dealing with hardcore...
Our orders are to render whatever assistance we can, sir.
Welcome, Captain Kirk. So glad you're here. The Alazi have been terrible trouble to me.
Well, you're terrible trouble to me, Harry. Tell me what this is all about.
That box over there. When I tried one on a wall, it floated off the grease and dirt. Perfect for cleaning, near as I could see. I peddled a few of these Mud's Miracle Degrimers, and everything was going perfectly well.
Then something went wrong, right?
Item. Lenses to affirm packaging build-your-own telescope kits. The collection of novelty paints, things like that. All of a sudden, the Alazi pirates are asking for me in every quadrant, wanting to know where I'm getting my goods. I registered this derelict as my salvage, and I don't want you running off with all my prizes.
Harry, as official representatives of the Federation and of Starfleet, we recognize your rights to legitimate salvage. Need I say more?
I understand perfectly, Captain. You carry on.
But after all he's done...
Bones, Federation law is clear on this. Federation law protects everyone, even Harry Mudd.
Yeah, and we all know how devoted I am to Federation law.
About as much as the Klingons are devoted to pacifism.
Given the past record of Harry Mudd, Captain, I strongly recommend that you do not trust him.
Mr. Spock, whatever gave you that impression? I thought Vulcans were supposed to be logical.
I am. Your record is that of a greedy, amoral, sociopathic fraud who preys upon...
In all my life,
So, you say you know how to break the gambling machines on Kurlon 4?
it's a system that cost a gambler his life, boy. He crawled up to me and whispered it with his dying breath. And it can be yours for a mere 200 credits.
Sorry, Mr. Mudd. My mother didn't raise any fools in her family.
Starfleet! You're all the same. No sense of adventure. Kirk, my friend, when have I ever given you the slightest bit of trouble?
There was the time that you tried to commandeer the Enterprise.
Perhaps there have been a few minor misunderstandings.
Don't push your luck, Harry.
There are shiny, multi-sided spherical objects in this box. Odd-looking contraptions small enough to hold in one hand. This lens, about the size of one's thumbnail, magnifies like a fine optical glass.
Nothing to report, Captain.
Done. Done. You fail to obtain anything. Done.
I wonder what's happening on the Enterprise right now.
Scotty will take good care of it, Jim. He has before.
I know, Bones.
A most interesting technology, Captain.
If the Alassi gets hold of this, they'll make Mudd seem like a perfect caretaker by comparison.
I wonder where that Mudd has gone. I wouldn't let him out of my sight. Mind you, I'm not too crazy about having him in my sight either.
It looks to me like these people knew how to defend themselves, Captain.
That machinery in the middle of the room, however,
It seems to be part of the loading system for the weapon. It is also fully functional. A weapons delivery system. It appears to be an accessory tied directly to our self-referencing packed quantum cartridges.
Power boosters! Oh, I've read about those, but they're just theoretical.
Evidently, these are more than theoretical, Lieutenant Bugert. The energy initially released is infinitesimally small, but boosts itself until the power finally released is comparable to our photon torpedoes.
The technical journals discussing the possibilities indicated it would create a weapon of greater range than those we have now, if not a greater punch.
The machinery to deliver these cartridges would be an engineering feat as well, Captain.
this technology is unbelievable, Mr. Spock. I've never seen anything like it.
It is indeed impressive, Captain. If I were capable of emotion, I would be in awe of this place.
If you're incapable of emotion, how do you know what awe is, Spock?
This is a major archaeological find, Captain. I believe the galaxy...
That he would do something right for a change.
Captain, does this mean that I'm a part of a major archaeological discovery?
You better believe it, Lieutenant.
I don't see why you're complaining about this Mudd guy. Who knows what advances we could get from all this knowledge?
This equipment's way out of my league, Jim.
This platform contains the control console for what appears to be the information center of the ship. The computer library, if you will. It appears functional, but
I'm speechless, Mr. Spock. Words cannot adequately describe this place.
Boldly go where no man has gone before. We are here, Jim.
we've done quite well so far, Captain.
In spite of Harry Mudd.
Speak of the devil. Where is that little angel?
This may have been their bridge, but this sure doesn't look like the Enterprise.
Evidently the aliens' bridge, their centralized control. A closer look may provide more information. But I do observe two things.
Go on, Mr. Spock.
This station definitely is configured differently from the one beside me.
This shouldn't be surprising. After all, there are two stations.
That may be, Doctor. But if you'll recall, all the Enterprise's different stations link into the same computer network bank. And
What else can you determine at this stage, Mr. Spock?
these people have a fixation for the number 6, and even divisors and multiplicans thereof. 3s and 12s in particular. I believe this may be the necessary first clue to understanding the aliens. This station definitely is configured differently from the one beside me. It is a multi-bit compact duver with its own Draktar traction unit and clamp kit.
Just think of it, Spock. An advanced civilization with powerful technology and nearly unlimited knowledge. And yet, all of that didn't save them.
It is a sobering thought, Captain.
Well, Jim, as long as we don't strangle Harry Mudd, I can't see very much for me to do on this mission.
Let's hope there isn't too much for you to do back at the Enterprise.
Unlike humans, I do not decrease my efficiency with meaningless dialogue.
Spock, meaningless conversation is one of life's great pleasures.
When we get back to the Enterprise, you're going to have to tell me everything you know about this Mudd guy. Sir.
You know, Lieutenant, they say if you can't say anything good about a person, you shouldn't say anything at all. In that case, I've got a lot I shouldn't say about Harry Mudd.
This room appears to have been the alien ship's engine pod. A ship-to-ship access hatch and a temporary life support generator are evidently recent additions. This Save-A-Ship life support generator has seen a great deal of use. It was never a reliable model, being prone to break down without warning. It is, however, properly connected with warning alarms for temperature, atmosphere, and radiation. 4. As one would expect, Mr. Mudd has sealed the hatch with his personal code. We cannot enter his ship, Captain.
I suspect that's a blessing in disguise, Mr. Spock.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
It would be interesting to analyze them back aboard the Enterprise, but these are probably vaccines, medicines, and research viruses.
Do they pose any threat to us, Doctor?
None seems likely to have any effect on human or Vulcan physiology. To be on the safe side, though, I wouldn't recommend taking a snootful from one of the capsules. There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor.
Captain, you wouldn't have seen my multi-purpose duver anywhere? I need to, fix something.
No, Harry, but I figure it's probably where you'll find your lost marbles. Yes, I've got it, but you can't have it.
You really can be a headache, Captain. Maybe I can find a spare somewhere else. Goodbye.
That was a close one. Too close. If I ever get my hands on that no-good Mudd,
I would not suggest we take the time to seek him. This emergency could occur again. I would suggest we hasten our departure.
Was there a problem?
Mudd, I ought to...
Sorry, no time to chat. I'm a busy man, you know.
The device has finished loading, Captain. This seems to activate the ship's computer bank control node. Given the aliens' predilection for multiples of 3, it may be possible to use our tricorders to decipher the information carried in these data banks.
That would be quite a find, Jim. This is an alien race unknown to us, and they are certain to have knowledge new to us.
Were the universal translator available, this would be simple.
With the Enterprise out of range, that's not an option, Mr. Spock. What else can you do?
I believe if Dr. McCoy and I conjoin our 2 tricorders, we may be able to process enough sample data to get a basic understanding of the aliens' computer system. This will completely tie up both our tricorders for an extended amount of time, however. Nothing to report, Captain. Both our tricorders are now working on basic processing of the aliens' computer data system. The tricorders are not the equal of the universal translator, but we should be able to retrieve basic information and get an insight into their culture and life systems. I don't believe we could have gotten even this far had we not deduced their fixation on base 6 mathematics and aesthetics. The tricorders are again available for general use. The alien ship's computer data is now accessible from the ship's library. I believe I have downloaded enough information to our tricorders to enable operation of most of the ship's controls, Captain.
Save new game. Replace previous game. Spheroid. Dust and grease lifts off the surface, leaving this item clean as new.
Well now, I think we know why the Alassi pirates were so interested in finding out where Mudd was getting these. There is nothing at the moment for me to do there.
I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain. Not all topics will necessarily be available, Captain. Nor do I believe we can get full details on all the Corniforos Life Sciences University, I believe.
To say nothing of fulfilling our mandate to seek out new life and new civilizations.
I'm receiving data now, Captain. Most internal and external functions are controlled from the bridge. These include engineering, navigation, communications, and sensors. Weapons functions are controlled from the weapons room. I have found an entry on an experimental long-range weapon booster recently installed, named the Wyos weapon. It does not alter the power of the primary weapon systems, but it does increase the range at which those weapons are effective. I believe I can produce a picture of a member of their race, Captain.
By all means, Spock.
Look at their physiology, Jim. I think this explains the Lashaeans' fascination with 3s and 6s.
It should be no surprise that physiology affects mind and behavior. I would say a 6-fingered, 6-eyed people would naturally develop.
Lifespan is extended considerably over archaic expectations, with maintenance of quality of life. Interesting data here about the 6-eyed vision processing in the brain. Their eyesight must have been excellent and almost 300 degrees around.
Kirk to Enterprise.
I can't make anything of these controls.
This is the secondary station. With the limited understanding we now have of the library computer data, these controls can now be activated. Available are sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Elassie pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. I read debris identifiable with the pirates, but they continue to harass the Enterprise. Sensors. Navigation. The computer reports this ship is incapable of navigating anywhere at all without major repairs. We are definitely dead in space until the Enterprise returns, Captain. Sensors. Navigation. Engineering. The engine pods are damaged but still generating power, Captain. Sensors. Navigation. Engineer. Done. Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
Communications.
the Enterprise is out of range for this equipment, under the conditions of static created by the neutron star.
Communications. View screen. I guess the universe looks about like it did the last time we saw it. Communications. View screen.
Done.
Why, Captain!
Jim, that doesn't look good at all. Harry, let me take a look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
No, you're all space aliens. You're little gray men from inside the hollow Earth. You want to experiment on my body parts. Stay away from... You'll mind control me, kidnap my children, dissect my dog.
If we can get him on one of the beds and get it active, I think he can be cured. Otherwise, he's likely to become increasingly violent.
Stay away from me! No, you're going to sell me to space aliens. Use my brain as a weapon to destroy the human race. Then here I am, willing to help out in a good cause.
I think I liked him better when he was less delirious.
Sometimes I wish I had become an archaeology professor instead of a Starfleet captain.
You look troubled, Captain.
Sorry if I was bothering you. I was just silently cursing the day I met Harry Mudd.
Are you religious, Jim? Is Harry Mudd a divine punishment for anything we did wrong?
I can't think of anything we did that was that bad.
Captain, count your blessings. We haven't met any salt vampires or deranged computers, blood-draining clouds, cell-imploding sirens, Greek gods, or any of the other things that people keep telling me about in security.
There's not much I wouldn't do to not have to deal with Mudd.
He's unnaturally strong, Captain. I can't take him down.
I'm not fast enough to get him with a tranquilizer hypo, Jim.
Spock, see if you can outflank him.
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. The volatile chemicals have evaporated over the time the derelict hung in space. I need to refill the capsule dispenser for the bed to activate and effect a cure on our friend Harry here. Interesting to analyze them back aboard the Enterprise, but these are probably vaccines, medicines, and research viruses.
Do they pose any threat to us, Doctor?
None seems likely to have any effect on human or Vulcan physiology. To be on the safe side, though, I wouldn't recommend taking a snootful from one of the capsules. The capsules slide into the machinery on the bed exactly as they're designed to. I'm telling the program, our physiology is not the same as the aliens' physiology. Don't want it to try to cure us of being human.
That would be too much to hope for, would it not, Doctor?
Particularly when we're talking about Harry Mudd. Okay.
Oh, give me something for this headache, Doc. A herd of Amali tree elephants landed behind my eyeballs and did a mating dance.
The device has been unloaded, Captain. The device has finished loading, Captain.
Why, Captain, I see you got this machine to work. I tried to get it up and running for the longest time.
Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge is for everyone. Get away from that this instant, Harry, or I'll shoot you where you stand. Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge is for everyone.
Why, Kirk, I didn't think you had it in you. Thank you.
The Enterprise is out of range for this equipment. Under the
Communications.
Done.
Databanks erased.
It appears our good friend, Harry Mudd, has crashed the main computers.
Highest bidder.
And instead, he wiped the memory. That knowledge was priceless.
At least our life support system isn't dependent on the alien computer.
I believe, Captain, that the basic functions of the ship remain even now. This is the library module. The art, history, and cultural memory of the aliens are gone, but the mechanical necessities of sickbay, engineering, and sensors continue to work.
But their essence, their souls, are gone, Spock.
Illogical, Captain. This race has been extinct for millennia. I fail to see the... Thanks to the library range for this equipment, under the conditions of static...
Communications.
Done.
Kirk, my friend, when have I ever given you the slightest bit of trouble?
There was the time that...
Perhaps there have been...
Don't push your...
This is the secondary station with the sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Elasi pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. I read debris identifiable with the pirates, but they continue to sensors. Navigation. Engineering done.
I can't make anything of these.
Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
Communications.
the Enterprise is out of range for the
Communications.
done.
Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Nothing happens.
Unique, Captain. I believe these are self-referencing packed quantum cartridges.
Power boosters!
Evident
The technical
the machinery to
You download major portions of the alien library onto the yellow spheroid.
Not all topics will necessarily be available, Captain. Nor do I believe we can get full details on all data.
To say nothing of fulfilling our mandate to seek out new life and new civilizations.
I'm receiving data now, Captain. Most internal and external functions are controlled from the bridge. These include engineering, navigation, communications, and sensor. I have found an entry on an experimental long-range weapon booster recently, and I believe
By all means.
Look at their physiology, Jim. I think this explains the Lashayans' fascination.
it should be no
Medical interesting.
Dust and grease lifts off the surface, leaving this item clean as new. These two things fit together like they were made for each other.
Getting these.
Why, Captain!
Jim, that doesn't look good at all. Harry, let me take a look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
No,
Deleterious effect.
you'll mind.
If we can get him on.
Stay away!
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
The volatile chemicals have evaporated over the time the derelict hung in space. The capsules slide into the machinery on the bed exactly as they're designed to. I'm telling the program, our physiology is not the same as the aliens' physiology. Don't want it to try to cure us of being human.
That would be too much to hope for, would it not, Doctor?
Particularly when we're talking about Harry Mudd. Okay, Harry, you should start to feel better in a few minutes. Just lie there quietly until you feel like moving.
Oh, give me something for this headache, Doc. A herd of money.
Nothing happens.
It appears to be a view screen, much like the one on board the Enterprise. Station. With the limited understanding we now have, sensors. The Enterprise is in sensors. Navigation. The computer reports this ship sensors. Navigate engineering. The engine pods are damaged. Sensors. Navigate engine done. Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
Communications.
the Enterprise is out of range for the
Communications. View screen. I guess the universe looks... Communications.
done.
Why, Captain, I see you got this machine to work. I tried to get it up and running for the longest time.
Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge, get away from that this instant, Harry, or I'll shoot you where you stand.
Whatever you say, Captain. Oops!
Mudd, do you know what you just did? That knowledge was priceless, and you've just destroyed it forever.
Kirk, look what you made me do! You and your clumsy Starfleet!
Mudd, don't you realize what you've done? That knowledge was irreplaceable. You just burned down the galactic equivalent of the Library of Alexandria. Millions of lives might have been saved by the knowledge that you destroyed.
Now see here, Dr. McCoy. Don't blame me if Kirk's bellowing causes me to be a teeny bit clumsy.
Teeny bit clumsy, Mudd? You're a disgrace to the entire human race.
How dare you, Kirk! I have half a mind to sue you for defamation of character.
Captain, I think Mr. Mudd looks like he's getting out of control.
Kirk, get this muscle-bound clod.
Logical to allow Harry Mudd to get within 100 meters of this room.
Mudd, if I were to perform an autopsy on you right now, I might be able to find a cure for stupidity.
No, you aren't. I mean, Kirk!
Captain, I think I understand why you dislike this Mudd guy so much.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there. To Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through the main weapons battery. However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship was completely destroyed in the action, which made her a derelict. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but I would recommend we try to take this weapon with us to the Enterprise.
I don't think we should tinker with technology we don't understand, Spock, and I'm surprised you'd suggest such a thing. I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise. I don't think we should. I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through the main weapons battery. However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship was completely destroyed in the action, which made her a derelict. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but I would recommend we try to take this weapon with us to the Enterprise.
I don't think we should tinker with technology. I agree that we should take. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Among the crew. We just arrived back here a few minutes ago, and we've been trying to raise you on the communicators.
The local star seems to be acting up. Will there be a problem with the transporter? I want you to beam up the landing party, and I also want you to lock onto and beam aboard an alien mechanism we came across.
We can do it, Captain, no problem. At least right now, but the situation is only going to get worse. Are you ready to beam over now?
No, we want to look around some more. We'll call you on this channel when we're ready. Yes, bring us home, Mr. No, I need to have a word with Harry Mudd before we go.
Captain Kirk, I was hoping to see you. I'm leaving soon and wanted to say thanks for the escort. Ta-ta! And I hope we never have to cross paths again, Captain.
Don't rush off, Harry. There's still a few things we need to discuss. In such a hurry? And Stella said she was dropping everything to meet you here. Don't rush off, Harry. Weapons to terrorists and known criminals. Tell me why I shouldn't arrest you on the spot just on general principles.
Because I'm going to turn over a selection of samples to the Corniforous Life Sciences University.
For free?
Of course. One of everything I've found here.
5 of each.
Captain! 2.
5. Remember, I could confiscate your entire stock as illegal goods. You might get it back through the courts in a few years.
You drive a hard bargain, Captain. It's a deal.
You have no idea what a great bargain it is, Mudd.
I understand. No problem. Adieu, Captain.
Bring us home, Mr. Scott.
We have read your report on the problems at Harapan and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I've wired in that alien contraption to the torpedo system. It should boost the ship's firepower, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. I only wish you could wire Harry Mudd to a photon torpedo.
For Stella Mudd to meet her long-lost husband on Starbase 7, sir.
Approved, Lieutenant. Take us out of here, Mr. Sulu.
Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakoor, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discovered what happened on Frakur before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
Save new game.
And raising shields.
Damage control standing by, sir.
Message from the Klingon commander, sir.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Enterprise, you are in violation of Klingon space. Your ship is forfeit. Prepare to die.
Nothing to report, Captain.
Orders are to proceed to the Digifal system. Orders are to proceed to the Digifal system.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Open hailing frequencies. Leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizra. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz, which is more than I can say for you, if the Nizra does not leave Federation space at once. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem, have your fleet commander take it up with them. If a Federation criminal were to pass into Klingon space, you'd be saying the same thing to me. Who do you think you're trying to fool, Taraz? Get your ship out of here now. You are in direct violation.
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in Federation space. You will pull back to the Organian neutral zone, and do so immediately. Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in...
You interfere in a just cause. You respond to a cry for justice with arrogance? Now you shall see how Klingons deal with their enemies.
Arming weapons.
Has been destroyed. Load a previously saved game.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battlecruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizra. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem, have your fleet commander...
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed. Vessels of war.
Entering standard orbit.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
I have pinpointed the source of the energy trail from Hakur.
Hailing frequencies open.
Greetings, my children. I can barely imagine that you have come so far.
I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you? I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. What did you do to get the James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise? What did you do to get the Klingons so upset?
Quaint expression. I have done nothing to anger them. I did with them what I have done with everyone.
And exactly what would you have done with them? Entering Klingon space for anything puts the peace in peril. Whatever you did has them very upset. They're raiding worlds looking for you. And exactly what would you have done with them? Whatever you did has them...
No, you must be lying. They could not be raiding if they are looking for me. Violence was not the message of any of my missions. I, Quetzalcoatl, preach universal brotherhood and peace.
Quetzalcoatl? How fitting you would name yourself after one of the most bloody-handed gods in Earth's history.
Bloody-handed? My people love peace.
Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still beating hearts. Ha! You mean your followers loved pieces? They slaughtered other believers hoping you'd return.
Foul, lying creatures! My gift was wasted upon you! Be gone! Clearly are not the inheritors of the noble Aztec world. What you have said has greatly disturbed me. You should not lie so. You shall remain here until you have learned the error of angering Quetzal.
Talkative mood right now.
Those vines would be useful to escape, if we could reach them.
Do I look like Houdini to you? I'm afraid you're going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat on this one.
No enemies in sight, but supplies could be a problem if we don't get out.
There is a vine hanging down into the pit. There are rocks here quite suitable for picking up and throwing. This particular snake doesn't seem to like your company and moves whenever you get near it.
It looks like a Zamphorian pit snake, a rather common species in this region.
You pick up some rocks from the pile.
Fascinating. It did appear to knock the vine down near to the point where one of us can reach it.
Didn't they have baseball on Vulcan? Show us your fastball, Jim.
Baseball? No one plays that anymore. Good try, though, sir.
The probability of getting the vine on the second try was only 36.53%. Well done, Captain.
Probability? That was a perfect pitch if I ever saw one.
All right, we're on our way.
He doesn't seem to be in a talkative mood right now.
Those vines would be useful to escape.
I am Tolokzak, priest of Quetzalcoatl. Only one who knows his ways may approach his holy ground. Indeed, you know the ways of Quetzalcoatl, but only a man of courage, one who will shed blood, will pass.
Locksack falls to the ground unconscious.
He dropped a knife, Jim.
You see a jewel-encrusted, gold-colored knife. You pick up the beautifully crafted knife.
Jim, he'll be up in about a half hour. If I wake him now, he's liable to retaliate for your thoughtless actions.
It appears that the leaves are slightly toxic. I would not recommend touching it for an extended amount of time, Captain.
The plant is tough. You will need something sharp to cut it. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
King just below the surface of the water. It would appear that the plant secretes a chemical that is a natural repellent to the creature. It has retreated far downstream, Captain.
He doesn't seem to be in a talkative mood right now.
Half-dome, Lieutenant.
If we ever get back to Earth, 100 credits says I'll beat you.
Captains and security officers, they don't realize how fragile the human body can be.
Sure we do. That's the challenge.
I would suggest we continue on, Captain. It would not... This appears to be a formation of raw dilithium crystals, Captain.
You will need something to pry it loose. You have one dilithium crystal in raw form.
I watched as you worked through the problems I set in your path. You are a valiant, intelligent species. Please sit down. We have much to discuss.
Beings terrorizing my crew because we're so primitive. Maybe you should see how primitive you are before you go around testing others. One thing first, if you're so peaceful, how come the Aztecs were so violent and aggressive? Yes, I guess we do. Go on. I've had one thing first.
I tried to teach them the concept of self-sacrifice. It would appear they did not completely understand my teachings. You are clearly not the liars I thought you to be. Were you telling me the truth about my disciples, that they became...
Best intentions were changed by the imperfect humans that you left in charge after you departed. Such is the way of our race, I'm afraid. You messed up in a big way. Perhaps you should try following the Prime Directive. It changed our lives. The Federation, absolutely. Your best intentions were changed by the...
I sense truth in this. Perhaps this is what happened to my children on the Klingon world of Rakur, which would explain why they are searching for me. I have clearly abused the power that was given me long ago.
You show great wisdom, sir, but your statement implies that you wish to change your condition.
Indeed. If my mission of peace was overthrown, then I am no longer worthy of my power. Tell me, has your species made progress in the medical arts?
We're a technologically advanced starfaring race. What do you think? That we wouldn't have made progress in medicine? With Dr. McCoy, I sometimes wonder, but yes, I would say we have made considerable advances. Yes, why do you ask?
At the top of my spine is a gland not found in your species. This is the seat of my power. I wish you to remove it, thereby making me immortal.
Jim, I'll try, but the physiology is completely alien.
You've got to do it, Bones. If the Klingons realize he's no longer a threat to them, perhaps we can avoid a war. Scotty, 5 to beam up.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battle cruisers have just entered the system. Admiral Kenka is hailing us, sir.
Federation starship, this is Admiral Blick Kinka of the Clearter. You harbor a criminal who has caused justice will be convened. If you refuse, we shall destroy you.
Admiral Vlicht, the criminal of whom you speak is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time. I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Rakur would cause the deaths of the entire planet. Since when you speak is in the...
His attempt to corrupt the Empire with his philosophy led to the destruction of all life on Rakur.
How could a philosophy of peace and non-violence cause the destruction of all life on Rakur?
Rakur has been governed by my family for generations, but even they were corrupted by him. It was a matter of honor that his lies had to be silenced, no matter what the cost.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with? So you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for their deaths, not Quetzalcoatl. You murdered them. You're insane. Tell me, how much do your commanders know about what you did? Or do you need to kill Quetzalcoatl to hide your own deeds? My God, so you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for their deaths, not Quetzalcoatl.
It was that creature's fault. Had he not interfered in our affairs, the people of Rakur would be alive. Clearly, he is responsible.
Message from Starfleet Command.
I'll argue this with you later, Blake.
Contact your superiors, Kirk. You may be surprised.
I have bad news, Captain. The Organians have ruled that Quetzalcoatl's interference in Klingon affairs renders him sunk, but be very careful, Jim. Starfleet out.
Captain, you cannot turn him over to those butchers. That would be murder.
We have no choice, Scotty. I'm afraid Quetzalcoatl has a date with Klingon justice. Set course for Rakur, Mr. Chekhov. Captain's log. We have come to the ruined Klingon planet of Rakur to deliver our guest, the mythical entity Quetzalcoatl, to a Klingon court. Dr. McCoy, Mr. Spock, and Ensign Benny and I have been granted permission by the Organians to witness this trial, which I expect.
The prisoner and his witnesses will stand forth, so the trial may begin. So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but the universe holds many surprises.
There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon, Vlicht. Let's get this trial underway. Stick around, Vlicht. There are more surprises awaiting you. Why does every Klingon tell me they expected to meet me in battle? You really have a one-track mind.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, studying dissent, encouraging cowardice, and treason in the highest degree.
Those are serious charges, Vlicht. Should he not be tried by a Klingon high court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in high court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial. Then this trial is a mockery for the entire galaxy to see. Oh, well, I'm afraid you're on your own, Quetzalcoatl. I'm a warrior, Vlicht.
A Federation officer claiming the rights of a Klingon warrior. How dare you insult me, Kirk?
I've faced Klingons both in personal and ship-to-ship combat. Your own records will confirm this. If I'm not worthy of their honors, why didn't they kill me?
That oversight, Kirk, is easily rectified. You and your 3 companions may face the test that we set for the Defender. Then we shall see if you are as worthy as a Klingon.
I want your word of honor, Vlicht, that Quetzalcoatl will not be harmed while we take these tests.
Very well. You have my word. Captain Calarax, transport them to the test of life.
What is this place?
Not much is known about Rakur, Ensign. This would appear to be some sort of a mining installation. That creature might be a native life form.
A test of courage? That is the Klingon way.
I somehow doubt that Vlicht intends for us to survive this, whatever the outcome.
Klingon. Murder is as natural to them as breathing.
That's not true, Ensign. However, I suspect that Vlicht's attack on Rakur exceeded his orders. He needs Quetzalcoatl as a scapegoat, and he needs a fair trial to avoid an inquiry of his own actions.
And our deaths will be the only way he can get it. Great.
Why do I have the feeling that I'm about to have a bad day?
How could you do it, Jim? I spent hours trying to save his life, and you just gave him away in seconds to the Klingons.
Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
You've handled those Klingons well, sir. We've got them on the run now.
Why do I have the feeling that I'm about to have a bad day?
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
You melt some of the rock. Molten iron. It hardens quickly.
As I suspected, Captain, the creature is in stasis. It should awaken in 3.48 days.
I bet it'll be mad.
You fail to obtain anything.
I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain. We do not know the code, Captain.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Rakur, in what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. We do not know the code, Captain. Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
Why do I have the feeling?
Captain, there is a force field between us. We have your... Keep us informed.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative. Negative. Transmit the door in.
What is this
place.
This is not Klingon technology, Captain.
Even I can see that, you pointy-eared freak.
Gentlemen, I suggest we start trying to find out what this is. I have a feeling we've come someplace Flick wasn't expecting us to go.
Save new game. Replay.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Captain, it seems to be some sort of interface device, but I do not know how to activate it.
We've got to get out of here, Jim.
Obviously, they want us to place the gems in the holes, but which one?
Placing the gems in the proper slots. We should determine a system for this.
For defense, use the light of war. For information, use my light. For transportation, use the light of travel. Sequences are keyed by combinations of crystals. Integrator now active.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
You fail to obtain anything. You fail to obtain.
Is restricted to higher order functions. Neural interlink required. Transport you only in proximity of nearest humanoid life.
How dare you! The test was supposed to take place without interference from your ship. You have shown all lack of honor.
Honor? Give me a break, Flick. You were trying to kill us. I believe that the use of guile to do what the enemy does not expect is considered very honorable by the Klingons. You didn't say I wasn't allowed to use my ship's computer. You didn't explain the rules clearly. Whose fault is that? Honor. I believe that the use of guile to do what the enemy does not expect is considered very honorable by the Klingons.
How dare you lecture me on points of honor? I, the most decorated warrior in the entire Empire. I, who took the dishonored trash of my homeworld and destroyed it with a fist of steel.
Then you admit it was you and not Quetzalcoatl who was responsible for the death of Rakor.
Those who lose honor lose life, Kirk. 'Tis the Klingon way.
Then you will not object to presenting the orders from the Klingon Council, authorizing mass murder on Rakor.
The trial is over. He is guilty. Done. Carry out the sentence.
I won't let you.
No, Captain. Let there be an end to this violence. I of it. But before I die, I believe that Klingon law allows me to make a public statement. Intelligent beings are not meant to be caged either by tyranny or barbarism. Those who try doom themselves to failure. Once a culture has tasted peace, it will not desire anything else, because peace is better than war. Love is better than hate, and creation is better than destruction. This is truth. I, who was once immortal, know that truth is the only true immortal. You can kill people, cultures, even gods, but the truth will always survive.
The death ceremony shall take place aboard the Cleata. I trust you are satisfied that justice has been done.
Did you listen to anything? I would not want to meet me again. Justice? Did you listen to anything he said? One day, in spite of people like you, the Klingons will know peace. Scotty, beam us up. Captain's log. We've returned to Federation space, having tried and failed to save a new friend.
Quetzalcoatl was a remarkable creature, Captain. It is a great loss.
He died for what he believed in.
Yet so did many men who were judged by history to be evil. Dictators, assassins. Self-sacrifice in itself is not a virtue.
Still, I cannot find it in my heart to condemn him. He had a great dream of peace, and it's been left to others to fulfill it. Let's get started. Ahead warp factor 2 to Alpha Proxima, Mr. Sulu.
We have read your report on the problems at Rakor and evaluate your performance at 64%. You and your crew received 1 commendation points. A
Message from Starfleet, sir.
On screen, Lieutenant.
The Enterprise will proceed to the Alpha Proxima system. While the indigenous race on Proxima 3 has not reached a technological level commensurate with entering the Federation, and therefore under the protection of the Prime Directive of non-interference, we do maintain a discrete monitoring satellite. It has picked up activity from an asteroid in an elliptical orbit. You are to investigate without interfering with life on the planet.
According to the library computer, the Alpha Proxima system has 5 planets and an asteroid belt. A large asteroid is heading towards the inner planets and should pass close by Proxima 3. It passes through the interior of the system once every 200 years. The people of Proxima 3 call it Scythe, the same name as their god of war.
God of war, Mr. Spock? Isn't that a bit surprising from a war?
In any case, about a millennium ago, Proxima 3 suffered a globally devastating war.
Blew themselves back to the Stone Age, Mr. Spock?
Late Bronze Age, Ensign. They rebuilt their world in half the time it had taken to get there originally. But the Armageddon was mythologized as a battle between the Soths and Lucas. In that war, the planet was raised, and all the gods died except Scythe. He had rained fury down upon the world, then went off on a long dance of victory. His return is a time for worldwide soul-searching and atonement. And Proxima and scan Scythe.
Entering standard orbit.
A sensor scan of size reveals surface features consistent with damage left by a nuclear attack. It would seem to have been a target during Proxima's war.
Size rained fury down on the planet and then left on a dance of victory. A missile base, Captain?
It would seem to make sense.
Captain, I just monitored a narrow beam message from Scythe to Proxima 3. I don't have it all. I just caught a bit of the initial burst. I'm attempting a translation, but it appears to be a computer code.
Any response from the planet?
The Prox strikes will not have the equipment necessary to understand and reply to that code for another 25.6 years at their present rate of development.